I love every aspect of gardening. I love the physical gardening. I love to do the digging. I love pruning, cutting back, planting, you name it, absolutely every aspect. Yes, opening the garden is great fun, and we meet all sorts of interesting people, and we exchange ideas and views, and no, I absolutely love it, and our families throw themselves into it and take the money at the door and help out with the teas and everything, so great fun. And for those who don't know about it, the National Garden Scheme is an amazing organisation with gardens up and down the country of all shapes and sizes, little back gardens packed with plants and rolling acres with wonderful trees and a great sense of history. And some of them are fun and eccentric and others more contemplative and peaceful. And they all seem to have a story to tell. And even if you can't garden yourself, you're unable to garden or you don't have a garden, just to wander around or sit and quietly listening to the birds, I think it has almost the same effect as gardening itself, a sense of peace and well-being.
Hello, I'm Miranda and I happen to be Dee's daughter. I have that honour and privilege, and you are going to love her garden. It's completely beautiful. I feel so lucky to have been brought up there and have it as a place to go to. And like all good NGS gardeners, she's very humble and said, "Oh no, I'm not an expert. Well, just you wait. She blooming well is. And she's been gardening all her life and it's stunning, and I really hope you enjoy it.
Well, coming into the garden, you come in through the archway and round the corner, and then you're faced with a rather large expanse of lawn with borders all the way round. And there's one specific area which we created over 8 years ago, in which was an enormous copper beech of about 250 years old, and it began to drop its branches, which was terribly dangerous and looked very sick, so it had to come down. It's always sad to bring down a very, very old tree, but we only felt sad for about 5 minutes and then suddenly realised the wonderful scope we had to plant something new. It's a mixture there of trees and shrubs and plants, really, divided into 4 with a little paths through the middle. And it needs constant attention, but then unfortunately every single thing, well, it's a very labour-intensive garden, which is entirely my own fault, but it does need constant attention, like everywhere else. I'm so glad I'm able to show you this wonderful shrub. I simply love it. It's called the American Fringe tree, Channanthus Virginicus, and it's actually grown so large it's collapsed on top of other plants. But it's such a beautiful thing and very slightly scented as well. Rather unusual, and with a leaf slightly like a magnolia, which confuses people. I love it. This is the ordinary salvia, but with a pink flower, which you don't often see. I love that, turning in with all the sort of deep purples. And then Allium Christophii, such a good one at this time of year. And then I haven't pruned this elder this year, so I've let it flower. It's Sambucus black lace. I think it's a wonderful one. So pretty. So next year I'll prune it right down so it's just leaves only. Through what we call the elephant hedge, very old. Out into brighter colours. Now, when asked what my favourite plants are, I always say that they're the ones that are flowering at their best at their particular time. So there are 1 or 2 in here that I do love, early perennials. Let me show you. Baptisia australis. I think it's a wonderful blue, and if you can't grow lupins, as we can't on our alkaline soil, that is a very good stand-in for them. Actually, I rather prefer it to a lupin. The delphinium, I don't know its name because I grew it from seed. So someone must have given me some seed without telling me the name, but I just love that colour. Lovely sort of china blue. That's lovely. And then Dictamnus is another of my favourites. There's a white one here and a purple one over there, Purpureus and Albus. And if you brush against them, it's a most wonderful exotic smell of lemons. And it's called the burning bush because apparently, I've never tried it, but if you, in the evening, strike a match, the whole thing will go up in flames. But I wouldn't actually want to do that totally. It's far too beautiful. So that, and Clematis recta, it starts with rather nice purply leaves. They've gone a bit more green, but I think it's very pretty. I have a little secret garden, which rather curiously is in the vegetable garden. It's a separate bit, but I call it that because people walk straight past in a straight line, looking neither left nor right, and never notice it. So it's known as my secret garden. I love to have little areas where we could have a bench and quiet areas so that you can just go and sit and actually enjoy the garden and listen to the birds and smell the wonderful scents that come wafting over on the breeze and just let life stop for a little while. You know, we're all in such a rush the whole time, aren't we? And I just feel to sit and contemplate is very important, and that's very much part of the garden.
I remember when the NGS people first started coming around, you sort of initially as a young person think, why are people in my garden? It's really weird. Am I allowed to walk around the garden? What can I play in the garden? And then I got shy and sort of used to hide from everybody. And then as I got older, I realised what an amazing gift it is that my mum's given, that people can come and experience her garden and all her hard work and the beauty that she's created. And then I became famous, which was an unexpected life turn. So then I really did hide if I was ever there.
I can't say that I would ever have a specific favourite plant. I think it'd be wrong, unfair to all the others.
She says she talks to the plants, which I totally get now because, as I say, my green fingers are beginning, and I planted some bulbs, some tulips, and I was definitely saying, come on then, come on, you can do it in February. And I was like, this is what she does.
I hope that when people come on this virtual tour that they'll get the feeling of peace that a garden, I think, should convey. It's very important to me, and it's a feeling that I have all the time that I'm gardening in it. And I also hope it'll encourage those who've never come across the National Garden Scheme before to start, when we're all able to start visiting and come here as well, if they live near.